In this video, we'll solve the following quadratic inequality for x. So we want to find when x squared minus 5x plus 6 is less than or equal to 0. So the first step when you're solving a quadratic inequality is to solve the quadratic equation. So that means we're going to solve x squared minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. And these will correspond to x-intercepts on a graph. So when we solve an equation, we factorize, and in this case it's a fairly straightforward one where we have x and x to give x squared, and then we want to find two numbers that multiply together to give positive 6 and add together to give negative 5. So in this case, hopefully you can spot that they are negative 2 and negative 3. So now we use the null factor law, and we can say that x minus 2 equals 0, or that x minus 3 equals 0. So adding 2 to both sides, we get x is equal to 2. And for the second one, adding 3 to both sides gives x equal to 3. So these are going to correspond to the x-intercepts 2, 0 and 3, 0. So step 2 is then to graph the quadratic and then inspect it for when it is, in this case, less than 0. So here's a computer generated graph of the x squared minus 5x plus 6 is less than 0. And we can see that the coordinates of the x-intercepts are already in there. So we just need to look at when is the graph of the parabola less than 0 or equal to it. And you can see that it occurs down here. So we can say that for x squared minus 5x plus 6 is less than or equal to 0, this occurs when x is an element of 2 to 3. So any number between 2 and 3 inclusive, or we can write it in set notation, so it's a set of x such that 2, and we have x greater than or equal to 2, but less than or equal to 3. So these interval notation or set notation describes the set of x values for which x squared minus 5x plus 6 is less than or equal to 0.